What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the RiOT Comedy Podcast presented by RiOT. Shout out to RiOT Natural Spring Water, keeping us healthy and hydrated over here. Sports news, we got LeBron and Stephen A beef before we got GTA 6.
It's the only thing that
Baseball
even
is back.
matters.
We pretending to care. We're not going to talk about baseball, but go Birds while we're here.
Hell yeah. It's the only thing that anybody can talk about. And hello, sweet boy. That's my sweet boy theologian, everybody. He a good boy. But it's the only thing that everybody in the world can talk about. Obviously, we've had some of our internal discussions about how we feel about it. And we'll talk about it now. I mean, I'll let you go ahead and start off with how you feel about it. Who's in the right or the wrong, or whether both are in the wrong or both are in the right, or both are just fucking weak, whatever you think.
Couple things. I think the only thing I think is really weak is Stephen A running his mouth for years, telling people, you don't know where to find me. I go to all these games. All you got to do is come talk to me. He's, told people before, you can call me, you can find me, whatever it is. LeBron calls him
I go to
privately.
120 games a year.
So LeBron catches him at a game and actually says something to him. And Stephen A says it's weak. He says it's BS. But whenever Kyrie did it to him, Kyrie, this is a story straight from Stephen A's mouth. He said, Kyrie tapped me on the shoulder, said, "You still got that same energy face to face?" And Stephen A's like, "I'm here. I'm standing here, ain't I?" So I was like, "All right. So you got that energy for Kyrie, but you ain't got it for LeBron." So I was like, why does LeBron get a different different standard when it comes to something like this? I think that's weak. And everything else is like, yeah. Everything else though is kind of like, I'm just here for the entertainment, for real.
So I got to drag this out. I mean, honestly, like with the tirade that Stephen A. Smith has been going on God, if I'm LeBron James, dog, it's on site. Like you're like LeBron said on Pat McAfee, you're completely missing the point. And this ain't like from like a Bron sexual, like people want to call people this, that, or the other. But like you basically said LeBron James is a bad father. And then you said you didn't say that. And now you're like, well, you didn't go to Kobe Bryant's memorial service, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, and blah, 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 blah. And like, first of all, he doesn't have to go to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame speech. It's not his fucking husband. Like, he doesn't have to
do that.
He doesn't have to fucking go, okay? Number one. Number two, dog, like, who gives a shit what he does in his private time? Who cares if he wasn't at Kobe Bryant's memorial service? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, who cares what LeBron does in his free time? You can't knock somebody for not going to a funeral, even though he was there. So it's just one of those things where it's just like it doesn't make any sense one single bit. Like,
are we witnessing the beginning of the end for Stephen A. Smith? Is this the beginning of the downfall?
No, I don't think so. I don't think this is like the beginning of the end for him. I think that everybody just expects Stephen A. Smith to say stupid shit and do stupid shit and be a dumbass, and that's what he's doing. And fortunately for him, like, he's not super old yet. I don't think we're going to see a downfall like Skip Bayless or anything like that. I think that he just got a new 5-year, $100 million contract, and at the end of the day, it just is what it is, man. We're stuck listening to his dumbass.
I think I disagree on this one. I think this is the beginning of the end. I think, he lost a lot of respect from people whenever all this started. Not only just from he had a little bit left. Whatever bit was left, he ruined it when he dragged Kobe into this, and this is what he literally tried to use a dead Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. Mamba. He tried to use a dead man to tarnish LeBron's reputation.
Yeah,
that's what he tried to do. And at that point, it's like whenever you even got like, no, I'm not surprised coming from Stephen A. Like that's a low integrity move right there. That's a bitch move. But whenever you even have like Kobe fans who don't even like LeBron dragging you on Twitter and everywhere else, talking about just leave Kobe out of this, yada yada, classless move. That's gonna take a lot to come back from, dog.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I don't think I think in like a couple more weeks it'll be fine. Nobody will even talk about like what he said with the Kobe Bryant thing again. I think that if you went through the long list of things that Stephen A. Smith has said, I think that you would see just full of dumb shit. Just full of dumb shit that he has said.
It don't matter if people talk about it or not. You made people feel a certain way about you, and people remember how they feel about you.
Well, I hope that what this means is we can just get back to like good sports shows instead of just having like one person like Stephen A. Smith pretends like he knows all about every sport. When in reality, you just take narratives and say dumb shit like, oh, the Cowboys are going to blow it early. and fuck LeBron. Like, you're a loser. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're a loser, and like that's okay to be a loser. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, some people are losers, some people aren't. But at the end of the day, like, he's a fucking idiot, and I don't think that anybody should waste any more time talking about LeBron and Stephen A. Like, we might make some cartoons about it because it's funny and like what a stupid situation. But like Kendrick Perkins even jumping in today and race baiting and shit is just like insane. Like, I don't know if you saw that picture I sent in the group message earlier. Did you see
Yeah.
it? Whenever he was
Yeah, I
like,
saw it.
why doesn't he do it with Channing Frye or Richard Jefferson? So you're really gonna say that a podcast that's about the actual studying of the game that he shouldn't put Steve Nash in it? Like, and
Right.
Kendrick Perkins is just jumping on this too because he jumps on whatever stupid shit ESPN tells him to, and it's just like,
Mhm.
dude, like these aren't even basketball opinions anymore. Y'all just shit talking.
This is the thing. Like Kendrick is doing exactly what Stephen A is doing. Like you just making
Right.
shit up to try to fit your narrative and tarnish LeBron's name. Like the funny thing is like I've seen people say LeBron is racist and don't like white people, and now like Kendrick is making Kendrick Perkins want to talk shit and be like, oh, you're only working with white people. Like, why don't you work with black people? Like, so everyone's an idiot on both sides of that. Like, so it's like you got to come with something real. That's when like you're LeBron, you know you won because these dudes ain't got shit to say to you except like Stephen A had to make up shit about where you were and were not at certain times, and Kendrick is now just like race bait and ain't got shit to say about you.
And not only that, and then
So
he
it's
said
like
yesterday that he blocked LeBron James's number. Like, everybody in America was gonna be like, "Good for you, Kendrick.
right, that
Good for
dude
you,
don't
Miss.
call
Good for
you.
you, Big Perk." No, you're a fucking idiot, dog. Like, you're actually losing a ton of credibility amongst like your other NBA brethren. If I had to guess, me personally, I'd guess that a lot of them think that
Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot. And at the end of the day, like, get your
yeah,
checks, but like, is shitting on motherfuckers for money really like a job? Like, people could sit there and say like, that's what I do, but I make set satirical cartoons. I don't ever just like talk fucking shit like that, dog. To where I'm gonna block this
right.
motherfucker's number, and he better not step to me at a basketball game. Like, you got neither one of y'all gonna do shit, neither one of y'all about shit. So it's just a very frustrating thing to see. Is that like you when you want to watch something about sports in the morning, like now you have to watch Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith talk about nothing, absolutely
Absolutely
nothing,
nothing.
just
Ain't
fucking
got shit
trash.
going on.
Speaking of trash,
Ain't got
though,
shit.
how do you feel about the Lakers right now? As far as like, I mean, they be losing, they be losing. So I'm just curious. Like, I didn't know we
Man,
were
that game last night. So
hilarious,
the
right?
Lakers hilarious. The Bulls scored 9 points in the last 12 seconds to win the game.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I don't
Uh,
really worry about the Lakers too much though. Like, they've lost some games lately. Like,
I don't worry about it either, but it is a little bit concerning whenever you blow a 18-point lead that you're holding on in the third quarter, and then with you know you got a 5 point lead with 13 seconds. They
yep.
inbound the ball. They get a three. LeBron basically hands them the ball. He basically stood out of bounds and just said, "Here you go, Josh Giddey. Take this from me." Josh Giddey kicks it out, assist, 3-pointer. Lakers down one. Austin Reeves gets a layup on the side. No one gets back on defense. That's my biggest thing. Is like it's the mental lapses. It's not like bad play. It's like you guys are up one with 3 seconds to go, and nobody picks up the guy who inbounded the ball. Josh Giddey had a wide open shot from half court because y'all didn't pick him up. Those are the things that cost you games, cost you series, cost you opportunities whenever you have those mental lapses and you ain't fully locked in the big moments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna read that much into it just because like it's hard for me to say that Luca and LeBron like are gonna have a mental lapse in the postseason like that. You know what I mean? Like, those two dudes have both like pretty much. I mean, I can't really think of two NBA players in my time that I've seen like drag bummier teams further. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of
I
course,
mean,
like
I feel you, but
I could be
you gotta
missing
be locked
somebody.
in.
I know you gotta lock in, but there's like 10 games left. Like, at
I've
the end of
watched
the
LeBron have mental lapses in the playoffs. That happens to everyone. This ain't a LeBron knock on LeBron. That happens to everybody across the whole NBA. Like
yeah, I just don't
in
trip on
real
him
talk,
losing to the
it
Bulls.
happens to LeBron less than almost
What'll
all
be
these guys.
interesting is like I think the Lakers have like 10 games left or some shit like that, but they play like mostly good teams. Like they got like the Rockets twice. I
Yeah,
think they play like the Warriors and the Nuggets and the Grizzly. Like most of their games the rest of the season. I think they get a game against the Pelicans, which is legit. Like they're probably ready to go to Cancun already, so they'll probably get blown out.
yeah.
Like let them blow them out. But like I think like 8 out of their last 10 are against teams in the playoffs. I think all Western Conference opponents. I think. So I'd have to look
Hmm.
at their schedule to make sure. Obviously, I could be wrong, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm pretty sure though. Like the rest of their schedule's pretty hard. Like I saw it the other day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. Like we'll see what you guys are really made of. Like I think it's easy to drop a game against the Bulls when you're up by 18 and they're fucking 10 games below 500 and they suck. Like I think that that's an easy
Got
thing to
whooped by the
do.
Bulls a few weeks ago, though.
I know,
Got the
but I think
absolute
that
shit kicked out of them.
but I think that if you let like the Grizzlies do this to you, or the Warriors do this to you, or the Rockets do this to you, or the Clippers do this to you, then I think that you're
Hmm.
gonna have a bigger problem on your hands than like just some bum in the East fucking making a comeback win on you. And one of them was a
Yeah,
half court shot. Like at the end of the day, like Lakers bad job, but like I think that the next 10 games will be pretty telling. But the Lakers are pretty much, I think, like pretty much sewn into a playoff spot without going to the play in. Pretty much like
for sure, for
they,
sure.
they're not they're barely playing for anything because it seems like everybody who's in the middle of the pack right now is like, we don't want to be the 3 seed, just in case we play the Warriors.
Yeah,
We don't want that seed.
yeah, no
And
doubt.
it seems like
Although
everybody's
you're probably gonna have to play the Clippers right now, the way it
right now it looks
sits. Last
sweet.
time I looked.
Right now it looks sweet, but they have the exact same record. I just either that or like the Clippers
Yeah.
have like, but they have the same record. They just have like the
Hmm.
tiebreaker or something like that. So it's one of those things where we'll see where that seating
You're gonna
balances
get
out.
one of those two guys.
But if you're the
You,
Lakers, dog, and like you dick around and you could have got the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs and never traveled. Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like you're playing in the
that's
same
huge.
not in the
That's
same
huge for
arena
them.
anymore, but you're driving up the street,
Right,
you know? So you're not on any
right.
plane rides, you're not doing any of that shit. Like that'd be awesome to have a
Driving
first round playoff series
20,
like
20
that.
minutes across town.
Right. And because your asses are like, well, just in case, let's try to avoid those Warriors. Now you might have to travel to fucking Houston or even travel to like Memphis. And Memphis is far from Los
Yeah,
Angeles. In case, like, noticed
yeah,
that a lot of people
yeah.
don't
It
know the
is.
maps, but it's fuck far. So it's a long travel time. So, like, fuck far. So that's going to be hilarious that the Lakers were just trying to scheme their ways to not play the Mavericks, like, because they're trying to scheme not to play the Warriors or the Nuggets, right? Is what
Right.
it seems like. Like, avoid those guys at all costs until you get to the conference finals. And like,
Hmm.
we'll see. I'm not mad at the strategy. Like, I think we were probably even said they should do this probably a month ago. I bet me and you were having this
Yeah,
exact same discussion. Like, this is what
matchups
they
are
should do.
important, and also like once the playoffs come, you want that. I know it's like you got to play these guys regardless, and some people are like,
Now you gotta get
doesn't
ready.
absolutely, man. You might as
Yep.
well go ahead and get that first playoff series against an easier opponent.
Yeah.
Get that
Absolutely.
playoff basketball feel, warm yourself up, and
But imagine if the
proceed
Lakers
after that.
would have just kept fucking winning games though, and they had the 3 seed right now, and then they got to play the fucking Clippers in the first round, no travel. And I've been saying this: if I was the Lakers, I would have tried to get the 2 seed. Like I'm going for the 2 seed, dog. Like
Absolutely,
I'd
absolutely. Give me
really
that.
like to play like the Suns in the first round if they can squeeze in or something like that. But you
I
might have
don't
to
see
play
that
the
happening.
Warriors. You might have to play the Warriors though.
Suns ain't even gonna make the play in. They
Mm,
garbage.
they might though. The Kings are trying everything they can. The Kings are trying as hard as they can to see how many games they
Trying
can
to
lose.
blow it.
They're trying as hard as they can to see how many games they can lose before it's all said and done, dog. They're trying as hard as they can. Also, by the way, this doesn't have anything to do with anything. Shout out Deion Sanders for getting a fucking 5-year extension from Colorado. Just saw that before I jumped on the podcast. 5 years, 54 mil.
Nice.
Good for
Shout out
Deion
Neon
Sanders.
Dion.
Shout out Neon Dion, dog. We're big Neon Dion fans, dog. Like anybody who talks that talk and walks that walk like that, dog. If you don't like that motherfucker, you a hater, dog.
I
Like
feel you. I agree 100%, dog.
he's the
It's one of
coolest,
them.
most
Get winning or get
braggadocious,
lost, man.
ignorant, fucking. He's so full of himself, but he always fucking does it. So it's just like you're awesome.
The man is a winner, and
He is.
you can't argue that.
No way. So shout out Neon Dion, and then I was looking at some things earlier. Shout out Schmonkey's picks.
Shmoney's money line.
Shmoney's money lines. As I've said in the past, everybody, these money lines are not for the faint of heart, and they are never going to be for anybody that doesn't want to, like, make money. We mean money. So,
What you got for us today?
not saying you should make this bet, just saying what I think I'm going to put my money on just to see how the NFL season goes is right now the Chicago Bears to win the Super Bowl are plus 3,500. I'm obsessed with what they've done in free agency. I think that they're going to go get Ashton Gentry in the draft. I think they're going to trade up and go get Ashton Gentry, if not just like stay put and go get him. I think that they're going to go get him and have like the best running back in the draft on their team. I think it's going to be a big deal. And I think that they're going to make a push for the division title. And I think that that money is just going to continue to increase. And I think this is going to be the best odds that you get the whole entire season. So I would say, me personally, what I'm going to do, of course, at your own risk, do whatever the hell you guys want to do, but plus 3,500. I like my chances there. I like my chances.
I'm gonna look at their odds to just make the playoffs because I like their playoff chances, but their odds to win the Super Bowl, I feel like you just pissing away money on that one.
Yeah, but like, these motherfuckers got 12 wins, win the first round. I'm making money on that. I'm making money.
I mean,
but I like it.
So the plan is pick them to win the Super Bowl. Once they make the playoffs, sell that bet.
That would be my plan. That's what I would do just because. But I think the Bears have a really good chance to do something special next year just because I don't trust anybody in the NFC right now. Like, I know the Eagles are super good, but it's been straight cherry picking from that roster. Since free agency opened up, dog, everybody's like, I'm going to overpay every Eagles player on that team. They got worse, everybody. Like, just to let you know, they got worse. How much worse? We don't know. We don't know. But I do know that, like, it's probably not the smartest bet to pick the Eagles to win back-to-back because nobody ever really does it. We had a 20-year gap before
It's real hard.
We had like a 20-year gap before anybody even did it. So like it's in a situation, and like I think that the Commanders have a down year. I think they're going to be overhyped. I think that Minnesota's going to struggle more this year. I think the Rams are going to be awesome. Obviously, they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. That might not be a bad.
The Bears are.
What do you think?
What do you think the money line is? +425 to win the division.
The Bears?
I think that's a better pick. +425 to win the division.
What's the Rams' odds to win the Super Bowl? Look it up real quick. I'm curious.
All right, let's see.
Pull it up. Doom, doom,
right,
doom.
Let's see.
I was about to do like
plus
the Jeopardy
2,000.
song, but that's not bad either.
Plus 2,000.
Shit, we're the only team that gave the Eagles a run for their money.
For sure, that's not bad. I kind of like that, man. Shout out to our friends over at MyBookie for the odds and updates and.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah,
that's where we like to play.
They're awesome. They're awesome. And then what I'd like to do before we end the podcast as well is I want to shout out somebody. Don't know exactly who yet, but a little bit of positivity. We like to end it on a little bit of positivity.
Positive notes.
Positive notes, everybody. A little woo-saws for everybody, just because, there's a lot of shit talking out there and a lot of hatred. And as you can tell by Stephen A. Smith, a lot of kicking people just to make your way in the world. But I got him $100 million. So at the end of the day, I'd probably say some bad things about people for $100 million. But yeah, do you have somebody you want to shout out or do you want me to go first?
You can go ahead and go first, but I do agree with you. If ESPN will give me $100 million, I will also, even if no matter how much I disagree with it, because I don't know the man, but looking from the outside in, it appears LeBron is a great father. But if you give me $100 million, I'll tell him he's a bad father too.
Tell him he's a bad father. I'll let him punch me in the face too.
I will. I'll do all that, and I won't even sue him.
Face,
I'll call him a bad father, and you get one free lick, right to the jaw for $100 million.
I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna shout out Ohtani. Hit a home run yesterday. The only reason I'm even shouting him out is because as a guy who doesn't really like baseball very much, I used to like it more, and like it's kind of dying for me a little bit. But man, that dude's good.
He's so good.
He's like the most amazing thing I've ever seen in baseball. Like I think people are like, I've said this to people before. Like he's maybe the best baseball player I've ever seen play with my eyes because like I do keep up with the sport some, but I do know what makes you really good at baseball, and it's either you hit a bunch of home runs or you can throw the ball harder than fuck, and he can do both. So what I would say to everybody out there is please don't take this man for granted because it's the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Unless Travis Hunter is like a top 5 corner and a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL at the same time, which would be fucking even crazier. I don't know if it'd be actually crazier because like hitting 100-mile-per-hour fastball's got to be almost impossible to do. Like I've been to the batting cages and like an 85-mile-per-hour fastball's fucking zooming. It's zooming in. And not only can Shohei fucking hit that ball as hard as he wants, but he can also throw the ball that fucking hard. Like he's a top
Bad
5
dude.
hitter and a top 5 pitcher. Like what?
He's a bad dude.
So I want to shout that out, and I just want to let everybody out there know, like, don't really try to compare him to Babe Ruth. Like, let's not do like this weird thing where we fucking try to compare him to everybody in the past. Just watch him play and be like, wow, this is amazing. So I just want to shout him out and let everybody know, like, just love this dude because what he's doing is fucking crazy, and it makes me watch fucking baseball. Go ahead.
Must-watch TV, no doubt.
He is.
I'm gonna give a shout out. I got to give a shout out to Pat McAfee, man. This dude, you know, got his contract with ESPN after just having a successful podcast, and he's had like some great interviews. He's had some great guests on, and you know, I think what we're seeing with the new media space, with you know,
He's the
new
best at it.
voices, different voices. Pat McAfee's great at what he does.
He's the best at it.
I love he's the best, and I love seeing these guys who can give guys a platform without sitting here and talking shit all day. You know, Pat McAfee is proof that you don't have to be a jackass like Stephen A and Skip Bayless and all these guys to get views and clicks. Like you can still be a good host, you can be a good interviewer, you can be a good journalist and put on an entertaining program without trashing people. Like we don't need to sit here and just like destroy cats and talk about controversy for clicks. Like there's still ways to put on a great show and great interviews without trashing people.
1000%.
So shout out to Pat McAfee for being great at what he does, man.
I want to shout out Kevin Love because you're hilarious, dog. And
hey, real talk on that one.
Your motherfucking social media shit talking. I'm here for it. I think you're like one of the funniest people on social media right now. I don't know if it's you doing it or if you have like an intern doing it or you have somebody doing it, but who's ever doing it, I'd like to have you on the podcast because one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life was whenever Kevin Love took the under on Angel Reese. And it was one of the funniest things that I've ever seen my whole entire life. And the hate that he got for it was super funny. And his response to it was even funnier. He was like, just tell me I'm old and suck now. I don't care. And it was just like the funniest thing ever. So shout out K-Love, dog. I'm gonna do everything I can to get you on the pod, dog. You got me cracking me.
If you're watching the podcast, tag Kevin Love in the comments. Tell him to come jump on with us.
We should just start doing that shit in our episodes. Just be like tag this person and see if we can like get him on board for something. Because
no doubt,
it'll work. But that's all we have for today's podcast. Sorry, it's been a while. We have been traveling and doing lame shit, but we're back, baby. NBA playoffs are right around the corner. You're probably gonna get 3 episodes a week of this during the NBA playoffs because we're gonna deep dive into every playoff series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I never thought I'd say this.
Playoff guys love it,
but we're even gonna be deep diving into like imagine deep dive into the Detroit Pistons. Who would have thought that?
Right.
So yeah, dude, we're gonna be doing some stuff like that. So we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Shout out Ararat and shout out my bookie, dog.
Thanks for rocking with us, everybody.
Peace.